started on another thing. So anyway, I'm gonna show you kind of a sample lesson today. This lesson is not going to be a full lesson that I would teach, and I'm going to be explaining the reasons why I'm doing certain things, and just, you know, kind of explaining. This is going to be a super short lesson. We're only going to learn a few vocabulary words, and I'm going to show you some activities that I would do with this lesson. So this is a lesson on a few body parts and a few clothing items. And so I'm just going to get started, and I'm going to show you how we would learn this. So I would introduce this lesson by telling students, regardez-moi. And this is something that we do. It's going to show you how we teach without the use of translation. I might use English sometimes to kind of supplement things, explain things, but this is a lesson that we typically do without any use of English. This would be a first-year lesson. It would be after we learn colors. It would probably be done mid first semester of the first year. And so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So regardez-moi, regardez-moi. Alors, les mains, les mains, les mains. Répétez, les mains, les mains, les mains. Répétez, les mains, les pieds. Les pieds, oups, les pieds, les pieds, les pieds. Répétez, les pieds, les pieds, les pieds, les pieds, les pieds. Répétez, les jambes, les jambes, les jambes, les jambes, les jambes. Répétez, les jambes, les jambes, les jambes, les jambes, les jambes. Répétez, la tête. La tête, la tête, la tête, la tête. Répétez, la tête, la tête, la tête, la tête, la tête. Répétez, un pantalon, un pantalon, un pantalon, un pantalon. Répétez, un pantalon, un pantalon, un pantalon, un pantalon, un pantalon. Répétez, les gants. Les gants, les gants, les gants, les gants. Répétez, les gants, les gants, les gants, les gants, les gants. Répétez. Okay, so as we're going through this, I'm chanting. And when I say répétez, then the students would start chanting with me. And then at the end, when I say répétez, they would say the word after me. So I would say les gants, les gants. Répétez, and then they would do it with me. Les gants, répétez, and then they would say les gants. And then we would move on, and we would do that several times with each word. So that rhythm helps students remember, right? Rhythm, 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 and that gets it back into their long-term memory, but it also helps with fluency. So another thing that would help with fluency is we're going to do a clap snap with this later. But then let me show you the next part. So the next part is we draw, okay? So again, I want to reiterate here that we've already learned the colors, okay? So this is an app called Classkick. And in Classkick, what we do is we do our drawing. Students have this form also, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and put it on the slide, this slide here, okay. So each of these is a word. And I'm going to do what's called comprehensible input here. So I am going to talk to the students as I'm drawing the word, and they're going to be drawing with me. Okay, so they're going to be drawing the same thing with me. Now I have some teachers who prefer to use PowerPoint pictures or just regular pictures, and that's totally fine as well, but they're sitting there talking with the students as the students draw the picture. And so I'm going to start out with les mains. And I'm going to say, les mains, il y a 5 doigts. And I always say, I am a terrible drawer. And I left my drawing skills in kindergarten. So if they don't know what it is, I will go, we do some pictures next, okay? Les mains. And in fact, je vais faire ça. Alors, les mains, c'est comme ça, 5 doigts et une pouce, une puce, pardon. La puce. Alors, la main, puce, 5 doigts, ok? Et donc, après, nous avons les pieds. Et les pieds à 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doigts de pied. Alors, as you can see, my drawing isn't super. D'accord? Après, nous avons les jambes. Et les jambes sont ces parties-là. Et les pieds sont attachés aux jambes. Voilà. Donc, cette partie-là, on a les pieds qui sont attachés aux jambes. OK? Donc, cette partie-là. Et ensuite, nous avons la tête. Et sur la tête, il y a les yeux, le nez, la bouche. And as you can see, I'm going a little faster than I would normally go. So normally I would be doing this slowly and talking a lot more. But because this is a sample lesson and due to sake of time, I'm just going a little bit more quickly. Alors, on a les oreilles sur la tête, les oreilles. On a les cheveux sur la tête. D'accord? Donc, ça, c'est la tête. La tête. D'accord? Et ensuite, nous avons un pantalon. Et un pantalon, et on porte un pantalon sur les jambes. D'accord? On porte un pantalon sur les jambes. Et des fois, on a une ceinture sur les pantalons. Et moi, je vais dessiner un pantalon bleu. Donc, moi aussi, un pantalon bleu, c'est comme un bleu jean. Un pantalon bleu. Voilà. And the point of this is not to have them produce all this language, but it's called comprehensible input. They see what I'm drawing and they're understanding. So the point of this is for them to listen and to draw exactly the same thing. All right. Ensuite, nous avons un pullover et je vais faire mon pullover en vert. Donc, un pullover, on a des manches longues. Donc, c'est comme ça. Et des fois, il y a une sorte de truc là. Et on appelle aussi le mot cool, le mot familier pour un pullover, c'est un pull. Un pull, c'est cool. Dire un pull, un pull, un pull, un pull. Donc, on dit pullover, c'est et un pull, c'est cool. On dit un pull. OK, après, nous avons les gants. Les gants, on met quand il fait froid dehors. Donc, on a les gants et je vais faire des gants rouges. Donc, là, on a des gants. Voilà. Oups. Alors, des gants rouges et des fois, il y a... Alors, voilà, des gants. Et des fois, il y a un truc comme ça. Il y a aussi des gants pour les doigts. D'accord? Donc, on peut avoir des gants aussi comme ça. D'accord? Des gants. On porte sur la main quand il fait froid. Et après, nous avons des chaussures. Et moi, je vais faire des chaussures violettes. Donc là, on a des chaussures. On porte des chaussures sur des pieds. D'accord? Donc, des chaussures, des marques comme Nike en français, Nike, ou par exemple, Birkenstock, d'accord? Il y a des chaussures qu'on met sur le pied. Je n'ai pas de chaussures avec moi. So here I might have some examples also to show of what we're showing. Et des chaussettes, on met aussi sur les pieds. Des chaussettes sont quand les pieds ont froid. D'accord? Une chaussette. Et je mets des chaussettes aussi en violet, mais je vais aussi faire, en jaune. Donc, des fois, il y a des chaussettes qui ont, par exemple, des trucs comme ça et sur le pied, d'accord? Il y a des rayures sur les chaussettes, d'accord? Les chaussettes sont pour les pieds. Et après, nous avons un chapeau. Un chapeau. Donc, un chapeau, on porte un chapeau quand il fait froid ou quand on veut être à la mode. Donc, un chapeau, c'est comme ça. Il y a un chapeau. Alors, un chapeau. Ou sinon, on peut avoir un chapeau un peu, je vais colorier en rouge, c'est un chapeau. Ou par exemple, un bonnet, un chapeau bonnet, c'est un peu comme ça, avec un truc comme ça. Quand il fait froid, d'accord? Quand il fait froid. Okay, so now that we've done our drawings, and again, I don't do it this quickly normally, but now that we've done our drawings, now I would move it on to the next step. So here you can see that we have a little guy who's going like this and a little guy who is putting something on, okay? So at this point, it's all oral. And we would have gone through je porte and il porte. So je porte. Je porte. Je porte, je porte, je porte une chemise. Je porte un pull, okay? And then we would add a little bit more to that. So for example, I might say, je porte des chaussettes sur les pieds, okay? Je porte des chaussettes sur les pieds. So at this point, sorry about that. So at this point, I would move. Je porte. Well, and it's not letting me move it. All right. So normally I can do this with the manipulatives where I can move these guys up. Okay, and the students are able to do that. So I would put je porte des chaussettes sur les pieds. Okay, so those two, and I'm not sure why it's not letting me move the. I'm not sure why it's not letting me move the little manipulatives. But anyway, so je porte des chaussettes sur les pieds. So chaussette would go here and pied would go here so that they know, okay? Then I might say, je porte un chapeau sur la tête. So then we would put the chapeau here and la tête there. So je porte chapeau sur la tête, okay? So we're making sentences and I'm giving them chunks. So this would be the sentence, and I wouldn't give this to them until later, but we would do je porte, and then un chapeau sur la tête, for example. Okay, so this is the chunk that I'm teaching them. Je porte, we put the vocabulary there, sur, le or la, and then tête. Okay, or les. So article, tête. So without even knowing it, they're learning how to make sentences. Okay. I might say to them, je porte un pantalon sur les jambes. And so we would put this one, un pantalon sur les jambes. And then eventually I would introduce them in a later lesson to actually how to write that. But this first part is just listening and being able to respond. Okay, so then what we might do is we would take it, and after each sentence, we would say, je porte un pantalon sur les jambes. Je porte un pantalon sur les jambes. Je porte un pantalon sur les jambes. Or we might do a clap snap with it, and we would get increasingly faster, which helps us, our brains process and produce the language faster. So we'd go, je porte un pantalon sur les jambes. Je porte un pantalon sur les jambes. Je porte un pantalon sur les jambes. And it continues to get faster and faster. And then they would have that to practice on their own later. So they could do, je porte un chapeau sur la tête. 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 So it gets increasingly faster and faster. All right, so the next part of this would be here. Now I put the, sorry, there. Okay, so I put the word here, okay? So we're talking about now, il porte, okay? So before we were talking about je, and now we're talking about il, okay? So this is our friend, and I would usually say, oh, c'est notre ami ici, c'est notre ami. Il s'appelle Bob. And I might write it here because they've learned this before. Il s'appelle Bob, okay? Maybe I'll write it, maybe I won't, depending on the age of the students and the level, okay? And then depending on the age of the students and the level, I might write the word here or not, depending, okay? So then we would work on il porte, and then I would tell them, for example, pull bleu. Okay, so then the student would get bleu, and they would draw pull bleu, okay, on our notre ami Bob. Il porte un pull bleu, okay? So they would draw that. Okay, now the good thing about this app and what we can do in our classes is our teachers can ask the students to do something and they can draw it and the teachers can see them in real time. So then I might go through and I might go, oh, Madame Porter, très bien, il porte un pull bleu. And I might say, oh, une étoile jaune pour toi, okay? So I can give little stickers to the students as they work through. So next, I might say, oh, il porte un pantalon rouge. Okay, so then they would put on un pantalon rouge, you know, and I'm just coloring this really fast, but they would do that. And then I go through all their work and I would go, oh, très bien. And I would give them a little sticker. Oh, and I might draw, oh, il est content, il est triste, il est comment. So we had already have talked about, by this point, using être. Il est, you know, using être with colors. Il est bleu, il est blanc. We can say il est heureux, il est content, il est triste, okay? So I might say, oh, il est content. So they might draw, oh, il est content, oui, okay? So as we go through, il porte des gants violets, il porte des gants violets. So I would draw gants violets, you know? So we would go through, and as they got it right, I would give them stickers on there. Okay. So then the next part to this would be, we would do a story with it. So I have a couple of stories. The first one I might do is Ipobo va se baigner, or we might do, for example, c'est Bob Bob a raison. Bob est content. Bob porte nanana. And we would do it through pictures. And then the students would have to match the pictures to the part of the story. Another extension activity might be that I would put them in groups, for example. We can do groups of students. We can regroup students by using our breakout rooms, and they would tell the partner what they're wearing. So they might be like, oh, je porte un t-shirt blanc, okay? So we have much more vocabulary that we are normally working with at this stage. Je porte un t-shirt blanc. J'ai un nez, j'ai des cheveux, je suis brune, for example. Or j'ai deux mains, je porte les gants rouges sur les mains. So they would be talking to each other using the vocabulary, and then I might have them share in class after that. So that is kind of a sample lesson. I want to talk a little bit about these pictures that I use for teaching the vocabulary and using stories. So I use a program called Proloquo to Go, and I'm going to show you this. This is what we used in my son's therapy when he was learning to speak. And as many of you know, my son is high functioning autistic. And so I would watch how my son learned language. And a lot of this is applied to how we teach at Bon Voyage. So this is Proloquo to Go here. And what you do is it's a whole bunch of pictures, okay? So the pictures have words with them, but I take the words off, and you can put pretty much any, like nationalities, verbs, any of these. So we use all of these pictures. And basically autistic children, they learn through pictures. And so, for example, they might do like, you know, they might say, you know, in their native language, I want to play with the dog. And so they would pick the picture for I, they would pick the picture for play, and they would pick the picture for dog. Okay, so there it is right there. Je voudrais jouer avec le chien, ou je joue avec le chien. And we use these pictures for all sorts of things, for them to communicate, to show them their schedules and all of that. So what I do with these pictures is I use them for vocabulary, we use them for sentences, I use them for stories, because they're really a great way to communicate. And so what I do eventually with students is I'll say a sentence and they have to move the pictures into place, or I will put the pictures into place, and then they have to tell me the sentence or write the sentence depending on what level they're at. So we use a lot of pictures. There really isn't a need to use the L1, what we call the L1 or the first language, when you have enough comprehensible input to teach the students. And I've said this over and over again, that students really need to make their brains work. Okay, so the prefrontal cortex is here, and that's what drives our reasoning and all of that. And so what happens when you learn another language without the translation, when you are making your brain work, when you are making your brain think, is that really you're exercising that prefrontal cortex, and what's happening is you're able to reason things differently, you're able to see things with a different perspective, you're able to problem solve better. So not only does a non-translation method create fluency, it also helps your reasoning prefrontal cortex part of the brain, really exercises it. Translation will give you that instant gratification of, I know what it means right now, but it doesn't work for learning a language. You really have to engage those senses. Another thing I wanted to say about the way that our brains are is that when you're young, your brain uses both lobes both sides of your brain to learn language and to acquire language. Whereas as you get older, it kind of separates, right? And you just kind of use that right side of your brain. But the way that we teach by tapping into the senses, we can actually access the other part of the brain, even in adults. So it's really important that we go through these steps of learning language, and really we don't translate words. Now, that doesn't mean we don't use the first language in the first couple of years. We use it to explain grammar concepts. We use it to explain cultural things, because culture is really important. But we don't take a word and translate it into another word, or we don't take a sentence and translate it into another sentence. So I hope that you enjoyed this short lesson.